15 years after Tron Legacy, and 43 years after the first Tron movie, we finally got a third one. This has been a long time coming. How is it? Tron Ares. So Tron Ares, like I said, is the third Tron movie. Let's see, how do I explain the premise of this one? The Dillinger Corporation is racing against Encom to find a certain item, and they've created super digital soldiers led by Ares, played by Jared Leto. They're sent on a mission to collect this item, but Ares starts questioning his directives, because he starts thinking, hey, maybe I'm working for the bad guy here. And our story continues from there, with awesome visual effects and music. Because I know this movie's been getting mediocre reviews, as is the case with both the other Tron movies. I don't know what to say, man. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I'll touch on the awesome visual effects and music in a minute, but first, as I always do, let's touch on our characters. Jared Leto as Ares. Look, I know at this point Jared Leto has a big hate train, and I'll be honest, if I disliked this movie, I would have said something along the lines of, I'm done making excuses for Jared Leto. But nah, man, this movie showed me he is still a good actor, because I enjoyed his character in this movie. He has a kind of sense of humor about him without being too much. He's an AI being that's curious about the world. In fact, he kind of reminds me of Vision. Like, he was originally purposed to be an antagonist or villain, but instead he's like, no, I want to protect. I like that about him. He ended up being a pretty likable character, all things considered, and he's got to pal around with Eve Kim, who's the CEO of Encom in this movie. She's alright. She does have the deep, tragic backstory, so you emotionally attach yourself to her, and it worked well enough for this movie, without being the deepest thing ever or anything. I liked Evan Peters a lot in this movie, though, because his character, Julian Dillinger, he's pretty much the big CEO of the rival company of Encom, otherwise known as the main villain in this movie. And he's a great villain. He's Evan Peters, so he's really charismatic. He brings his Evan Peters-isms into a villain role. What's not to like about that? I will say, if you're here to see Jeff Bridges, because he was in the last two Tron movies, he is just a cameo, so don't hype yourself up for that. It's a cool cameo, and it was a cool scene, but a cameo is pretty much what you expect from him in this movie, right? Yeah, good. Alright, just making sure. But really, let's just get to the real star of this movie, huh? The visual effects and the action scenes, because holy shit. They're awesome in this movie, dude. Same with Tron Legacy. They're the reason you go to see a Tron movie. The visual effects and the CG look absolutely stunning in this movie. And the action scenes, the fight choreography, the sound design, it's all top notch. Like, this movie's gotta be nominated for best visual effects at the Oscars this year. It's gotta be. I mean, some sets are not entirely CG. I could tell there was some stuff that was practical, which is even more impressive. But I could watch these action scenes for hours. When this movie comes on to Disney Plus, I'm gonna be watching those action scenes again, because they're just worth watching again. They're just so cool. Now, there is a point in this movie where it does kind of lean into the nostalgia for a bit, specifically to the first Tron movie, and it was really cool to see for novelty's sake, and it fit into the story really well, actually, and this is also where you see Jeff Bridges. I actually felt that this was a necessary addition to this movie, just to help it feel like a Tron movie, you know? Like, if Jeff Bridges wasn't in this movie, I would feel that that would be more weird. Like, it's not a Tron movie without Kevin Flynn, you know? He needs to be here to validate the whole thing, and I thought it was cool. I do wish this movie would have continued a little bit more from Tron Legacy in particular, though, simply because I'm more attached to that movie than the original. I mean, this movie does touch on some things from Tron Legacy, it does, but I don't know, I guess I just would have liked to have seen more. Maybe I'm being greedy, I don't know. I will say though, for a Disney movie, this movie gets pretty hardcore. This movie is rated PG-13, and you can definitely tell when you're watching it, because some things will happen, you're like, oh my god, Disney. It's just not what you expect from la-di-da happy-go-lucky Disney movies usually. It was really refreshing for me. And I mean, the Tron movies have always been a little bit more mature for Disney. They touch on adult things like board meetings and such. Companies and businesses racing against each other to get to a milestone first. Kids aren't exactly gonna understand all of that, which I really appreciate about the Tron movies. They're not always trying to appeal to kids. I mean, the fun action adventure, yeah, kids will dig that, but there are just some things that might be a little too much for little kids in this movie. I really like that. I mean, that being said, the Tron movies were never really supposed to be that deep and emotional. I mean, there's some good story elements there, and some stuff that you resonate with, sure, but let's be honest with ourselves, the Tron movies were always about the visual effects and action more so than the deeper emotional core of it. At least I'd say that about Tron Legacy. It's like Pacific Rim, you know? And movies like that where the characters are like just passable enough emotionally speaking. They're not hollow or bland like in Five Nights at Freddy's. They have emotion and heart, but they don't blow your mind. My point being, the Tron movies are supposed to be lighthearted. That's my real point. And they succeed in being that. This one included. They're not trying to go for the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. gameplay, just visual effects and maybe musical score as well, which will bring me right over to the soundtrack, brought to us this time by 9 Inch Nails. And yeah, the Tron movies are known for having amazing, stellar soundtracks. We all know Daft Punk did Tron Legacy and it was awesome. Now 9 Inch Nails is doing Tron Ares and it's awesome. If you're into that sort of EDM, you're gonna dig this soundtrack. I was tapping my foot and nodding my head along with the music in this movie while I was watching it, and I was listening to the soundtrack on the way home. It's great stuff. We all knew that we were gonna love it. That's why the trailers were boasting about it. Do I miss Daft Punk? Yeah, sure. Well, actually, no, I don't. No, this soundtrack stands on its own. I actually had to think about that for a second. Yeah, man, this is great stuff. It is right up there, I will say, with Daft Punk's Tron Legacy soundtrack. I know that's a high bar, but it reaches it. It's killer stuff, dude. It's a vibe. Guys, in the end, Tron Ares, I thought it was a fun time, okay? Is it the deepest movie ever? No. Is it predictable? At times, yes. Does it have awesome action scenes and visual effects? You betcha. You can tell that a lot of budget went into this movie, and that ain't no bad thing. Does the movie have cool characters? For the most part, yeah. Are your kids gonna love it? For the most part, yeah. And does it have a killer musical score brought to you by 9 Inch Nails? Absolutely. For Tron Ares, I will say, go see this movie while it's in theaters. And there is a little mid-credit scene as well. I would like to see where this goes from here, but I guess that'll have to depend on the box office numbers. We'll see what happens. So Tron Ares, have you seen it yet? What are your thoughts on it? And of our 3 Tron movies now, which one is your favorite? Tron, Tron Legacy, Tron Ares. Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Peace!